Could you please share with the listeners your name and title at OSU?
Hi, my name is Guisela Latorre. I'm a full professor in the Department of Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies at The Ohio State University, and I am really happy to be here talking about our departmental mural.
Could you please take me back? In 2016, how did the iconic departmental mural come to fruition?
Yes, so I was interim chair in the department, and I was also finishing and working on my book called Democracy on the Wall, which is on the Chilean mural movement in, obviously in Chile. And I came in contact with an artist. Her full name is Marjorie Peñailillo, but she goes by Gigi. And she is a graffiti artist who works in the region of Valparaíso in Chile. And I had been collaborating with her for a number of years, and while I was chair, I decided that it would be great if she could come to the university and do a mural here in this wall, which used to just have mailboxes before. And at the time, I worked with the staff who were Jackson Stotlar, Lynaya Elliott, and Tess Pugsley. And we did the mural that way. And we started exchanging ideas for the mural over the internet, over email. And when Gigi actually came here, we already had a design for this mural. And it just so happened that Gigi's visit coincided with the Hip Hop Literacies Conference, and Gigi and I presented a paper in that conference that was here at OSU, and we took advantage of the fact that Gigi was here to have her help us with a mural.
Why do you believe this graffiti mural is so significant in its placement in our office?
Yeah, it's the entrance of the office. This is one of the first things that people see when they come in to our space, and we thought that it marked, this idea of entering into a feminist space. Murals tend to change and charge the space, not just the wall itself, but the space around them. And so we thought that, to have a mural that really reflects our ideas and our ideals as a department would be a really great idea. And it was wonderful because we got a chance to work together. I worked on this mural too with the artist, and she guided us in really, exciting ways through this process. And so we thought this was a really good way to, to activate the space and to signal it as a feminist space here on campus.
I love the mural, and so I would love to hear a little more about the rich symbolism within it. So you collaborated on deciding on the design. Could you please unpack some of the significance of the images?
Sure. So the mural is really centered around this figure in the in the middle of the composition, which is a figure that represents feminist knowledge. And it's a non-binary figure. So, and what we see in their in the composition is a representation of this of their brain, and the brain is kind of like a a maze, which represents feminist thinking, we also drew some inspiration from the local indigenous culture here in Ohio, and we created indigenous species. We have the red robin, we have local flowers that are part of the iconography of this mural. We have a ladybug here. These are all things that are very local to Ohio. So we were interested in representing something local, but something also that was universal. We thought feminist knowledge is something that is universal, we like the idea of this non-binary being half submerged in the water, coming out and having sprouting branches from this mask-like sort of device that they have. And so we were really excited with that, and we had planned this iconography over email. Basically, we collaborated over email, and that was really exciting to us.
I love hearing you describe the mask and the different intentional details, because the mural kind of marks a shift between, like, a name change of our department, where we're going from women's studies to women's gender and sexuality studies. So we're thinking about how we can even make our iconography more inclusive of that. Yeah. Okay, and just in the same vein, right? Could you please speak to more of the transgressive qualities of the mural, gesturing to the progression, as I mentioned, but also just the significance of bringing a mural into the institution?
Yeah, so I mean, the transgressive qualities is that we just did it. We made a decision to do it, and we're very much graffiti style. The mural is done almost entirely with spray paint, and that in itself was a transgressive move, on our part, to just do it and not ask for permission, and so that's what we did. Now, in terms of creating a figure that seemed to represent a sort of diversity of humanity was important to us. But also that represented diversity of the non-human as well as being represented in the mural. So we think that that's pretty transgressive, the fact that we refuse to give a gender to this central figure, and that we called it Formación, which means formation, and so it's also an image about being in the process of becoming. Being in the process of having an identity, being in the process of forming a feminist consciousness. And so this idea of formación or formation was really important. And also I want to claim that it's an image of transgressive thinking as well.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to hear about this mural. Thank you for sharing. And we have a bit of an upcoming community mural making event taking place for the commemorative 50th anniversary weekend. So could you mind just sharing a little bit about that so we can tease that on the way?
Sure. So for the 50th anniversary celebration of our department, one of the activities that we are going to do is that we're going to create another mural. This might be a mural that is temporary, but that speaks to our feminist thinking now. So the idea of the mural, as I am approaching it, has to do with the idea of healing. What does healing mean, especially when we live in a difficult time for gendered communities in our country, that we are going to talk to all of these wonderful people that are going to be part of our 50th celebration, and we're going to ask them, what does healing look like to you? How do you survive? How do you gain joy in these difficult moments? And so we're going to take those ideas into visual form, and we're going to do a collective mural where everybody expresses their idea of healing and joy in these difficult times. And the idea is that we work collectively, and so we'll all have different ideas about what it means to survive as a feminist and as a gendered other in this moment. And so we think that working together collectively is going to do a lot for this idea of communal healing and communal working together. So that's the plan for the mural for the 50th, and we're excited to be able to do that when our department is celebrating such an important milestone. We are, one of the leading departments in gender studies in the country, and one of the oldest. And so we're very proud of that. We're very proud of our trajectory. And so we hope that we can capture the moment in that mural as well.